The fuck is up, gamers? Your boy the Goose, and we are back for episode number 19 of Narcissu. We're going to be doing chapter 15, Half a Prayer. I'm sleepy. It's almost midnight. Let's see if we can knock this out real quick. Water splashed loudly. Wah, wah, wah! Hey, hold still. Even if you tell me that, it tickles. The 7th floor's bathroom. Today was the second bathing day of the week. Hey, wah, no, I'm soaked too. I'm sorry. It's fine. One-san will take a shower while we're here. Even though it could be called wide, compared to a normal home's bath, it was just slightly wider. When we two were in the tub, it was enough to be tight. Not yet? Not yet. Just a bit more and the shampoo's rinse will be done. Okay. The girl was squeezing her eyes shut and waited for the end of the shampooing. Even this kind of exchange was now becoming a familiar thing. Okay, and next is Himiko's barbershop. Opening a hole in the garbage bag and passing her head through, I had the girl sit in a folding chair. Fuck. If there was no wind, it could also have been done on the roof. But mostly the cutting was done in the hospital room. Us helpers were also gardeners and cleaners and occasionally barbers. The scissors clicked together as I cut. How is it? I tried making the front all the same. A little strange, maybe. Oh, you don't like it being cut straight across? That's not it, but it looks too short. Aw, about this much is cute, isn't it? Like a kid. It's a bit embarrassing, maybe. The scent of the shampoo's mint spread from the still damp hair into the narrow hospital room. The girl sat in the folding chair that I always sat on, and from the garbage bag she gave me a bit of a dissatisfied look. On the floor spread 3 sheets of newspaper. It was a barber shop that they used 2 small hand mirrors. A few days after, if one looked, it was towards the middle of August. Today also the girl was here. Today too, I was here. The alarm on the thermometer beeped. Okay, let me have the thermometer. Okay. Taking the thermometer that was in her mouth, I read the numbers on the digital display. What temperature? 36.2. Yeah, with this, it's fine. Then today, ice cream in the courtyard again? Nope, today I'm thinking of different plans. Different plans? But for that, this comes first. As I answered, I opened the paper bag I had brought. Half of today's plan was in there. What's that? I brought new clothes for you. But just before, I got pajamas. These aren't pajamas. With a bit of a flourish, I took out the bag to show her. After all, it was something that used up over half this month's allowance, and I had spent 2 hours debating over which to get. Ta-da! Ah, a one-piece! How is it? You like it? Happily, the girl vigorously nodded many times. It was a one-piece dress in summery white with yellow sunflower pattern on it. Okay, once you change, we're going right away. Going? Do you mean outside? Yes, the church. As I answered, I undid the buttons on her pajamas. Truth was, for a while she had said she wanted to visit the church. To be honest, going in pajamas would have been fine, but... Well, since we're going to the trouble, right? One-san, thank you. The burning sun and sound of cicadas. Today looked like it was going to be another hot day. Under that sky, we walked side by side. It was the first time we went outside the hospital. Of course, even if she said she wanted to go further, I wouldn't be able to take her. No, not that I wouldn't be able to. No one would. That's why a place like the neighborhood church was the only place I could take her. In moments, we reached the church. I quietly opened the doors that I was used to passing through. There's no one around, is there? Well, at this time. The girl's expression turned slightly nervous. Even considering her age, it was probably her first time coming to a church. God is in here? That's a hard question. To be precise, it was probably a consecrated place for the worship of God. At least for me, here or not here didn't seem like an answer I could give. But here the magic's effectiveness is different, right? Well, something like that. And we approached the altar and offered prayers. I prayed for the girl's happiness. Even if the future were closed, at least until then, I wished that she would be without regrets. And the remaining half, for always holding many secrets, I prayed for my own forgiveness. Phew. So, already done? Then shall we go back? I'll take you back here anytime you want, okay? Thank you. And then, as we made to leave, One-san. May the bountiful blessings and the grace of the Lord be upon you. I tried casting magic on One-san, too. Saying that, her usual cheery expression faced me. Without a single shadow, an innocent smile faced me. Surely, she didn't understand the meaning of the words. However, even more so because of that, the sentiment made me really happy. And then, half of the prayer, used for my own forgiveness. For me, who could do nothing other than buy ice cream for her, it was painful. Right above the sun, noisy were the cries of cicadas. As usual, the hot days continued, and it was a summer day unchanged from yesterday. But a little bit changed with the girl. Up until now, she had been so attached to me. but between one day and the next, she came to hold a bit of a distance. I knocked before opening the door. Good morning. Good morning. Exchanging our morning greetings, I sat down in the usual folding chair. Then, when I looked at the tray, she had already finished eating. Oh, leaving so much again. I'm sorry. Between one day and the next, she wound up barely eating. That's no good. You need to eat properly. But I'm not hungry. I gave a sigh. Well, if that's the case, we can eat in the cafeteria, okay? Even with that suggestion, no response. Though before, even if it wasn't for ice cream, she'd happily go. To not eat that on the 7th floor was a deadly thing. Unlike other wards, full-blown nutrient IV drips were not given here. Of course, there's some sugar contained in them, but the main purpose is rehydration. The word deadly meant exactly that. It was immediately linked to death. You know, if you do this, very soon you'll get weaker. Get weaker? Yes, if you don't eat, your body won't be able to hold up. Then, after getting weak? If my body gets even weaker, what will happen? That's... Here my words stopped. In my throat, I swallowed the word die. Normally, preaching about life and death was the duty of the church. Our duty was also to support that. And here in the 7th floor, a place where we speak to those who have lived life peacefully of coming death. However, for a young girl, for a girl who could not have been said to have fully lived, just who in the world could speak of death now? Exactly in these times. Maybe I should have let her hear the words of St. Augustine or Lord Jesus, but for me, offering up half a prayer and buying ice cream was about all I could do. A few days after, late night. As always, the girl ate very little. And at that girl's side again, I was sleeping in the spare bed. The girl coughed. You alright? Late at night in the dark hospital room, the girl was coughing. Right now, all I could do was gently pat her back. The past few days, because she had been leaving most of her food, it was visible that her strength was dropping. And now she was clearly avoiding me. If I spoke to her, she would barely make a response. The times where she would speak to me on her own completely disappeared. Amongst all that, suddenly she opened her mouth. Say, One-san, this, I'm giving it back. The rosary? What she took out of her pajama pocket was a rosary, without a doubt the one I'd given her before. And also, I want you to not come here anymore. Why are you suddenly saying that? That's... There, her words stopped. Since a few days ago, the girl had definitely been acting strangely, and then a single thing came to mind. This is something from a while ago, but I'm sure that you said a lady you didn't know had spoken to you, right? And just maybe, it has something to do with rules. At that question, there was no response. However, I felt the silence wasn't a no, but a yes. I had been convinced it was a rumor, but it looks like that kind of legacy did exist. And most likely, the girl had heard of it. It's okay. Will you tell One-san? But... It's okay. I'll absolutely keep it a secret. They said I can't tell anyone. She started to sob. Finally, she cried, even though until now, not once had she cried. Rules. Before that, all that I had heard was that they only passed to the residents of the 7th floor. I suppose it was only the problem of those who were headed towards death. That was why, for me, I might not have the right to hear. No matter how close I was Alois, I could not become the Patrashi who accompanies them in death. In the end, nothing other than someone watching from the side. The girl's sobbing continued. I'm sorry, I won't ask anymore. Simply just patting her back, so that just even a little sooner she would stop crying. Just a little bit sooner she would smile for me. Just a little bit sooner. The girl continued to cry. But the legacy that was passed down, what was in there was simple to imagine. Don't eat. That was the shortest route to death. That was something that us helpers had also suspected. Coming to a place like the 7th floor, people who died from the worsening of sickness was rare. Instead, seemingly all on their own they gave up food, simply weakening and then dying. I learned that those were common. Most likely that was not for their own sake. Financially, psychologically, for various reasons. It was probably an act stemming from wanting to lighten the burden of those left behind. I, who had become close, was beginning to be pushed away for that same reason. For the one leaving, it was painful for those left behind just a bit less. And, also, on top of hearing those rules, there was a chance she learned that which I most feared. Say, One-san, Dad, Mom, where are they? I'm going to die. That's... There, my words choked. That doesn't tell me anything. Tell me the answer. I had thought to say something, but especially at a time like this, I knew that I had to say something. Even though I was supposed to know what kindness should be. Even though I was supposed to be a Catholic in order to speak of life and death. And yet I could not find any words. Outside the window, there was a night sky that was beginning to lighten. In this narrow hospital room, the girl's sobs reverberated. Even though I was a professor, the doctor, I couldn't give an answer. At this time, if I were a real doctor of the church, if I were Augustine or Jerome, maybe I could have answered with something. Damn. They didn't have to put her sobs in like that. They almost got me. They almost got me, bro. Alright, thank you for watching. I will see you next time where we hit up episode... that'll be, what, 20? And we'll do chapter 16. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.